happening, YouTube?
This is SEL0320.
This is Joe Johnson 030.
You work up JVS. We are back for season 2 of the Daredevil hit Netflix show. We just finished watching the first 2 episodes. The premiere episode name was Bang. The second episode, we don't know the name of it because Netflix has been going crazy. So I think it's Gun or Guns. I'm not really sure. But either way, we're about to get into some heavy stuff. We're going to talk about the first episode for a little bit of time, and then we're going to talk about the second episode. And there might be some slight spoilers, so if you do not want to know anything about this, please just take this, put it in your watch later, because we're about to go into this. Yeah. So we're going to try to keep spoilers at bay, but we're going to try to talk as best we can about it.
Yeah. We're definitely trying to talk as best we can about it, y'all. It's 4:45 where we are. We just watched it when it first hit Netflix.
Yeah, so we're going to try to keep it limited to about less than 20 minutes, if that, and we're going to try to rush through this as best we can because we got to go to work. Anyway, so first episode, name was Bang, off the gate. I mean, they had the Irish mob. They were talking about their exploits of Wilson Fisk being out the cut, and now they are trying to take up what was rightfully theirs, and even like the fact that the Yakuza has even been silent. So they were like, okay, we're gonna take care of what we got. All of a sudden, fire just breaks out, and ninjas get murked from a hole in the wall. Like it just kind of came out of nowhere. And I was telling Joe, there was this big dude out there. He had a big forehead. I was like, he about to get killed first. And dude, like, it was just, the fact about this first episode made me realize that the choreography and the violence, they upped it. And I didn't think that was something that they could do. Because the first one was really gritty, you know. I mean, Jessica Jones, that was a different kind of gritty. But it was very violent the first season, you know what I'm saying? But this first episode, they went in as far as violence, as far as even the cinematography, how they did the fight sequences, and just this gunfight. Like, it showed, like, there are no limits to what's going to happen, especially with the Punisher. And I'll talk about a little bit of that in a little bit. But what was something about the first episode that you really enjoyed?
One thing that I really enjoyed was they introduced the Punisher's character. They really pretty much makes his presence is known in the first episode, but you don't know exactly if it's him or not.
Yeah.
But his presence and what his actions take place in this first episode, and it's like, is it the Punisher? You have that hunch feeling, like you know it's the Punisher, but they don't really say it.
Yeah.
So I really like that aspect. And then by the second episode, we actually see the Punisher physically. Yeah. So they introduce this character right from the jump street. Starting off of this episode, I mean, there's this awesome fight scene with Matt Murdock chasing down these bad guys in Hell's Kitchen, and he is beating the brakes off these guys, y'all. Like, I feel like the start of this season, like, he is more ruthless. Like, just like he's just like beating down these bad guys, man, just breaking arms, breaking wrists, and like he doesn't even care. Like at one point he was like smiling.
Yeah.
Kind of like show he kind of enjoyed it, you know.
Yeah.
You know, he's not killing anybody, but at the same time he's giving these bad guys a hard time. Like, yeah. I would hate to be a bad guy.
And we'd even said, like, he looks scary.
Yeah.
Like the way that his subtleness and the way he walks and just does stuff, it's really unworldly. It's like literally like he's becoming what he's saying that he is. It's like a daredevil, a devil essentially. And it's a really interesting stage presence. And I think that Charlie Cox is doing a great job as Matt Murdock and as Daredevil, because there's a lot of different things that are going on behind the scenes with him, with Karen, with him, with Foggy. In the previews, they were kind of really vague as far as his relationship with Foggy, because it seemed like Foggy was kind of being like a little over-excessively saying stuff about him, but it's all justified. Everything that happens in this episode, like, I can understand where Foggy's coming from, and I appreciate Foggy being this one, because he actually had a lot more to do. His involvement is a lot more there. Even with Karen, like, she has a lot of stuff that's going on with her perspective, and even there's a new person named Grotto, and like his relationship with Punisher is really interesting. But I think the biggest thing we should end on this episode is the ending. The ending of this episode, it threw me, because it was a great fight, but even before that, you get to see like this meat locker sequence with Daredevil, and he finding out what the Punisher's capable of, and then when he first interacts with him for the first time, oh my gosh, it was epic. What is your final thoughts about the ending of the episode?
Oh yeah, it was straight fire. Like that one guy who talked to in the meat locker, he was like, "It's not them. It was one man."
I was like,
oh snap! It was like, oh snap! It's him. It's the Punisher.
Yeah.
And then that ending fight sequence, dude, was just nuts.
Yeah.
Like they both were like exchanging blows, and I mean like they were doing like 3-hit combos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like Matt was giving them the business, but at the same time, you start to understand. Wait, Frank could try to just kill him. He don't have to be throwing any blows. But anyway, what do we give this episode? I give it a 10. First episode off the gate, I thought it was awesome. What do you give it?
Dude, man, I think that's tough. I give it a 9. It's a 9 easy. I think I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm gonna give it a solid 9, guys.
All right.
I'll give it a solid 9.
So the second episode, like we said, we don't know the name of it, but either way, the second episode does not lose any steam because, spoiler alert, like I said, if you haven't seen the first episode, we're gonna get spoiled because we're gonna have to talk about the transition of what happens. In this one, you can put up a little caption if you want to wait. In this one, it starts off from the fact of what ends in the last episode. The last episode ends with basically Matt getting shot in the head. And from that point, Foggy knew something was wrong because like Matt didn't come home. He was trying to figure it out. And luckily, he went up to the roof. He finds Matt. Matt's all jacked up. He took his mask off. Matt's convulsing like this. I was like, yo, did he get shot in the head? And then sure enough, you found out, like, because he had to go back to the guy that had the suit made for him, and he's back into this one. I thought that was really cool. And he basically said that, dude, this mask is fractured. Like, there's nothing that you can do to be able to stop it, And the thing is that the guy said, to be quite fair, he could have killed you. He shot you in the direct point of impact that wouldn't kill you. Than shooting you in the head. Like, who has that ability to do that?
I predicted that. I was like,
like in the first episode, the guys that he shot up, the Irish mobs, they had Kevlar vests on. He shot through them. And he shot this man point blank in the head, and it's like, well, that's your warning shot. And I mean, this episode, the thing that I liked about it is that it kept going in pace. Like, I was thinking you just kind of got to lay back a little bit. Give me some time to breathe. No, it didn't do that. Because Matt's all effed up. And I'm pretty sure that he got like a concussion and maybe more because his ability to be able to hear, feel, like it just starts going on him. Like there was one point you see Matt and like he can't hear anything. And he starts losing his mind essentially because not only can he not see now, he can't hear. Like that has got to be the worst thing that you can even feel. But Foggy and Karen, they have some good runtime as well. Like they start going through and trying to figure out what to do with Grotto because Karen almost died with Grotto, trying to get him out, and she's trying to be a little G or whatever. But my opinion, I told Joe, I was like, I think that there's something going on relationally with Karen and Matt, and like she kind of comes by and tries to talk with him, interact with him, and it's apparent that there's something there. But I feel like Karen knows. And I think that I like that about their relationship. She's waiting for him to be honest and truthful about it. But what was one thing you liked about this episode?
I think that's a little hypocritical on her part, my personal opinion, because she's not open and honest, because she's still dealing with the weight of her killing, what's his name?
Yeah. But if
his assistant.
But the thing is, if she says that to them, like that categorizes her as worse than, the people that are out there that are terrorized people, because she's killed somebody.
True. Well, truth is true.
Oh yeah, I agree. But what was something you liked about it?
I definitely like the fact that you get to see Karen just deal with. I think one of my favorite parts was Karen and her catching wind that something's up with Matt, and not only that, but her going about dealing with the weight of carrying around like that incident with William Fisk's assistant. So. And there was a couple of scenes, not only with Matt, but there was another scene with Foggy, where she was with Foggy and she was like contemplating like pretty much her escape, and said, like, did I deserve to be escaped or whatever, or saved, or spared. So I really like that part of the show. Not to mention like everything else that's going down. Punisher, man, he's just awesome to watch.
I mean, Jon Bernthal, Shane, whatever you want to call him, he is the Punisher. He's not Shane. he's the thing about the actor is that every role he gets in, he's really different. He's really volatile. He's really strong. But in this one, like, you can tell there's something off about him. Like, it's like he went into this shop trying to get like something from the pawn shop or whatever, and the pawn shop dude said something about some little girl or something like that. The dude lost it. This cat, I think he got a bat. He went Batman on him. Like, it's. I love the fact that he has morals, but he has no filter for anybody that is willing to prey on the innocent, or even shows an acknowledgement of that. And I think that that's going to be a really big toll towards the middle of the season when they start getting hands for blows, because the end of this episode, it's just like the last one. Like, they were going at it, and you don't know, at the end of this episode, you don't know what happens to Matt, because of, well, I can't spoil it, but there's certain things that happen towards the end where, Grotto's trying to be put up in a situation to help him out, but you can see that the Punisher is going blow for blow, for person, and he's just systematically killing folks, man. It's really violent. But I love the fact of how honest they're showing, like, the prowess of this character. And I think that they're doing, this is probably one of the best incarnations of the Punisher I think I've seen.
I agree. 'Cause one thing about his character, from what we've seen this far, he's so edgy. Mm-hmm. But what that mean? I mean, he's definitely the definition of Old Testament. Like, this dude, you know what I'm saying? He's one way. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that's one thing about his character. Like, once you see him, what the deal is.
Oh yeah,
like, there's
no question.
Mercy.
No question.
There's no mercy. Even when he's fighting, Matt, it's like he's fighting him.
Yeah.
Like, they are fighting. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I can feel like he's got some sort, like, a level of respect for him. Yeah. But he doesn't. He's like, if you step in the ring with me, bro.
I mean, that's the thing.
Like, you're going, like.
But see, the thing is, the thing is, this is the only person he's been trading blows with. Everybody else gets blown away. He's been using guns with everybody else. Matt is the only person that gets the luxury of his fist.
Yeah.
And he takes it well.
and even there's a scene where he's like, there's civilians in the area where he's trying to get to one of his targets.
Oh, he didn't care.
And he doesn't care. Like, he doesn't target any of the civilians or nothing, nor does he hit them. But it's like,
it's open range, ninja.
I'm like, bruh, like,
so what do you give this episode?
He walks that line, like, you know what I'm saying, right on the edge. Like, it's crazy, dude.
So if you had to give this episode a rating, what would you give it?
If I had to give this episode, man,
you like this one better than the first one, didn't you?
I don't know. I really don't know, man. I like both of these episodes. This one's probably a 9 as well. I like them equally. Yeah. So putting them together, they give me a 10. They'll give me a 10. If I put both of these together, I get it a 10.
It did feel like these were two episodes that would really just
Now, the way they end the way they transition
is
freaking
perfect.
awesome.
It's perfect.
Because it makes you want to watch that now.
Yeah, you have to. Like, unfortunately, we will have to wait until tomorrow night.
I'm going to sleep.
And we need to sleep. I got to go to work. But I give this episode a 9.5. I thought it was going in hard. I was going to give it a 9, but the way that it ended, I was like, bruh. Anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed this first rate, spoiler-filled, non-spoiler at the same time review for episode 1 and episode 2 of season 2 of Daredevil. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't going to stop. We'll be back for episode 3 and 4 a little bit later on tonight. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.